Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. And today I'm going to walk you through an easy yet thorough interior cleaning process with my new go-to product. This is the Jimbo's Complete Cabin Cleaner. Now, this isn't just a regular or a crazy interior detail. I'm going to show you how to tackle all those commonly missed spots while keeping it really simple and efficient, which is my favorite. Whether you're cleaning your car to keep it fresh or preparing it for a sale, this guide will show you how to get that factory fresh look inside. So let's get into it. And the first thing I always do before diving into an interior detail, sometimes I'm not so good at it, but I'm working on it, is putting on a pair of gloves. I can't stress this enough. These are just from Costco. How important this step is, not just for keeping your hands clean, but for protecting yourself from unseen dirt, other people's bacteria, potentially harmful contaminants that might be lurking in the car's surface. You never know what's underneath the seat. I've heard of people getting pricked. And honestly, you'll be surprised at how much grime accumulates, especially on the high touch areas like a steering wheel, door handle, seat belts. It's a simple precaution, but it goes a long way. Plus, gloves give me a little bit more grip, so it's kind of handy, especially if you're dealing with dog hair. You're trying to just get a little extra out of a surface sometimes. It's amazing how efficient something as simple as a latex glove is. So definitely pick some up, whether that's through Costco, Amazon, whatever. It doesn't really matter as long as you're wearing them. So now that we're all set, let's dive straight into the cleaning some of the dirtiest areas inside the car. I like to start with the steering wheel and the door panels because those are the spots that we touch the most often, which means they're usually covered in oils from our hands, dirt, and honestly, who knows what else. So for this, of course, I'm using the Complete Cabin Cleaner. This product's incredibly versatile, and it's just perfect for these high-touch areas. So I start by spraying the cleaner directly onto the surface or into one of these like scrubber pads. And I go in with either a scrubbing pad or a detail brush. Using a brush here is key, or a scrub pad, because it helps agitate the cleaner into those little crevices and textured areas where dirt can really hide. So once I've scrubbed everything down, I grab one of the trusty Costco microfiber towels. If you're already at Costco getting the latex gloves, might as well pick up a pack of microfibers for interiors. I think these towels are great because they're cheap, and honestly, they're kind of disposable. So you can use them for the tougher jobs and not feel bad about tossing them out if they get too dirty, which is pretty much why I do it. And you'll notice the Complete Cabin Cleaner is a high foam formula, which is great. I like high foam, and when I tested this product out, I tested it against like a low foam, medium foam, and a high foam. And the reason why I decided on the high foam was it gives you more work time. So that's what I like. You don't have to use more cleaner because it foams and foams and foams, right? So for the door panels, I follow the same process. Just remember, when you're wiping down plastic or leather surfaces, I tend to oversaturate and overuse the product, but you don't have to do that. A couple sprays directly onto the towel or the scrubber can really go a long way, especially if you're dealing with delicate materials. You really want to be careful with those. You don't want to over scrub leather seats or vinyl seats or vegan leather, as some car manufacturers tell it. You can remove the dye, not just with the Complete Cabin Cleaner, with any cleaner. Actually, the cabin cleaner is going to be a much safer option than like an APC, which is what a lot of people recommend, or an all-purpose cleaner. Those are going to be really high pH, really caustic, really aggressive. And the Complete Cabin Cleaner isn't any of those things. It's just a really good deep cleaner without being caustic, without being annoying. And it leaves a nice matte finish, so you don't have to worry about the greasy residue. We're trying to remove the greasy residue, not remove the greasy residue and then lay down more greasy residue with like another dressing or protectant. The Complete Cabin Cleaner is and does have protectant properties in it, so you're going to notice it accumulates a lot less dust and things like that. As we move on to the center console, this is really an area that can get arguably grosser than the steering wheel, especially if you're someone or dealing with someone who eats or drinks in the car. One thing I always like to do is to remove any loose parts, and on cars like Honda, they have a lot of these where you can remove parts of the cup holder, the rubber liners, the storage bin inserts. And by taking these out, one, you can really get in there and clean all the nooks and crannies that are usually hard to reach underneath, but you also get a better clean on those parts when you take them out. So I start out by spraying the Complete Cabin Cleaner directly onto the surface, let it sit for a few seconds to kind of let the product do the work, similar to when you're working on the outside of the car. Kind of want to let stuff dwell and kind of, simmer a little bit. And it makes it easier to break down, or gives it the time to break down any sticky residue, buildup, and grime Then I go in with a brush and agitate, and you'll see how foamy this gets. And that foam is really good because it's lifting the dirt away. So after that, it's a quick wipe down with the microfiber towel, and everything looks good as new, honestly, even better. And don't forget to clean those removable pieces as well. Like I mentioned, a quick scrub. You could even rinse these, if you wanted to spray them, soak them. I sometimes, if they're really bad, I will have like a separate bucket. I don't do this all the time, but it is kind of a hack to do. Have a small bucket on the side, and you can let those removable pieces just kind of soak and, again, simmer and dwell. And then once they're clean and dry, you can pop them back in. And it really makes a big difference on the center console. I didn't do that in this CRV because, honestly, this car was not that bad. This is the seats aren't bad. It had rubber mats, which we'll talk about in a little bit. But this was very much a maintenance interior detail. And so seatbelts are another spot, especially where the seatbelt clicks in, is a spot that often gets missed, but it really holds a ton of dirt. So think about it. Every time you grab that seatbelt, buckle in, you're transferring the oils and dirt and, honestly, your food, boogers, what else, onto that plastic piece and then clicking it in. And so if you're detailing a car for yourself or a client, you definitely do not want to skip this step. For the seatbelts, if you're cleaning the seatbelts themselves, it's kind of a two-pronged approach. I'll start with the complete cabin cleaner, spraying it directly onto a scrubber brush and then working it into the fabric. In my experience, this does help break down the grime without soaking the seatbelt too much. They usually take a long time to dry. I see a lot of times people will also soak the seatbelt and then pressure wash it on the outside. I've tried both things, and for the seatbelt itself, I just never have been able to get it that good, that clean. Luckily, the fabric part of the seatbelt usually is never that bad, and a lot of car manufacturers have gone with the darker color. This is mainly for spot stains. What I will recommend is the buckle portion, both where you put it in next to the seat and where you grab it, both parts of the buckle, those get really grimy, but luckily they're plastic. So they're easy to clean, especially with the cabin cleaner. So, and like I said before, these seats of the car were actually in pretty good shape. It doesn't happen that often, but hey, sometimes you get lucky, right? And the seats don't need a full shampoo, but I did want them to just look a little bit fresher. So for cases like this, I take the cabin cleaner and just a microfiber towel, right? I'm not trying to agitate too much. I'm not trying to change the look of the fabrics. I'm not trying to wear down the fabrics or make them fray or anything like that. And so even if there aren't any major stains, it's still a good idea to give the seats a quick once over, right? So I had vacuumed them, hit them with just a microfiber towel, sometimes the scrubber a little bit. And the cleaner not only removes any light stains, but it really revitalizes the fabric. So it makes it look fresh and feel new again. This is especially helpful when you're dealing with older seats that have kind of lost their vibrancy over the years. And again, the cabin cleaner does not leave any residue behind. So the seats won't feel sticky. They won't feel greasy. And this is why I called it the complete cabin cleaner, because you can go from cleaning the plastic steering wheel to the floor mats, to the rubber mats, to Alcantara, the nav screen. You can clean literally every surface on the interior with one cleaner. And it's going to do, arguably, I think, the better job than any other cleaner on the market. So earlier, you may be wondering, where are the floor mats? These were rubber floor mats inside this car, which is just consistent with the whole car and the owner of the car. They really like maintaining their car, and rubber mats make it really easy to do that. And so I pulled the rubber mats out, which I always recommend doing. These mats, they take a beating from dirt, mud, and all sorts of debris. So for rubber mats, I like to spray them down with the complete cabin cleaner, let them sit for a minute. I go in with a stiff bristle brush, and then I pressure wash them. If you really want to see how I deep clean rubber mats, I do, and already have a whole separate video dedicated to that process on this exact car. So I will make sure to put a link in the description below. So it's a total game changer for getting your mats looking like they just came out of the box, and even better. I clean them with the complete cabin cleaner, and then I take Jimbo's All Dressed Up, which is my water-based dressing. I have it pre-diluted 4-to-1. And then I revitalize the mats after I clean them with the dressing. But again, I'll link that video in the description below, so you can check that out if you want, where it's just dedicated on just the floor mats. So we're almost done, but there's one last step that I always do. I don't see many people talk about this, a final vacuum. So in my opinion, this is crucial because you're cleaning, brushing, wiping down all the surfaces, and you're bound to knock some loose dirt, hidden dirt, and debris. Sometimes you miss a spot on your first vacuum. And so I like to do a quick pass over the seats, floorboards, and any other areas where dust and dirt and crumbs might have settled. You never know what you have kind of kicked free, and it's just a good way to do a once over. A lot of people skip the final vacuum step, but honestly, for me, it makes all the difference in getting that truly clean finished look, and it just ensures that when you're done, the interior looks totally spotless, feels fresh, smells great, thanks to the complete cabin cleaner. Think of it as like doing a final wipe down on the exterior of the car, but for the inside of the car, right? And so, yeah, everyone misses that final vacuum, and I think it's just such a clutch step that a lot of people miss. So. And that wraps up our simple interior cleaning guide using Jimbo's Complete Cabin Cleaner. As you saw, this product really makes the process quick and easy. So whether you're doing a deep clean or just a light refresh like I did today, you can be assured that Jimbo's Complete Cabin Cleaner is the cleaner for the job. And I do have a 16 ounce, which is a ready to use, and a gallon concentrate. So if you do have those cars that are a little bit more grimy, you need a little bit more cleaning power, I would definitely suggest picking up the gallon, and then you can dilute it down to what you need. So yeah, and if you enjoyed this video, please hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel, and drop a comment below if you have any questions. And of course, if you're interested in trying out not only the Complete Cabin Cleaner, but any of the Jimbo's detailing line, you could check out all the links in the description below. Thanks for watching, and I will catch you guys in the next video. See ya.